Hi, this is I guess going to be number 4 of the Bathrobe Chronicles, and tonight I'm going to talk a little about AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. For the other segments I didn't use any notes, and I just have the 12 steps here so I can refer to those. Anyway, as many of you may know, AA was started, well, maybe 30, 40 years ago, 50, well, 60 years ago even, by two fellows who were having trouble, with their drinking problem. And they somehow came together and they formed this organization. Now, of course, there's AA everywhere, all over the world. First off, I'm not saying that there haven't been people who've gone to AA and quit drinking. Obviously there have. Of course, you could also pose the question, what was the actual mechanism, or whatever you want to term it, that made them or allowed them to quit drinking? Was it the 12 steps? Was it the fact that they were determined to quit drinking and they went to the meetings? What was it? I think one of the problems is when you read this, there are 12 steps here, and God's mentioned all over the place. Let me see here. A power greater than ourselves, care of God, admitted to God. We're entirely ready to have God. Boom, 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 boom. Conscious contact with God. Having a spiritual awakening. I mean, it's all through here. That's like 5, 6 times in 12 steps. A lot of people don't know that there's been at least 2 or 3 court cases where judges have said that AA is a religion. As I best remember, these were suits that were brought to court by prisoners who were being forced to go to AA meetings. As part of being incarcerated, obviously they have complete control over these folks, and they're forcing them to go to AA. And they contended that that's like forcing them to go to a religion, which would seem to be the case. Anyway, let's go over these 12 steps and see what you guys think. First off, number 1, we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable. Well, let's think about this. If you're trying to quit drinking, and you're saying to yourself that you're powerless, I mean, what's up with that? That seems to be sort of a contradiction. I'm going to quit drinking, but I'm powerless. Oh well. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves. What the heck does that mean? Power greater than ourselves. I'm sure they're talking about some kind of God thing here. And 3, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. Think about that. We're going to come up with this God, and I think the AA people will say, oh gosh, it doesn't have to be a real God. It can be anything. It can be a suitcase. It can be a toaster. It can be a rock. Well, wait a minute. Come on. I'm going to turn our lives over to the care of a rock? Oh well, okay. And then number 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. To sit down and say, gee whiz, what's been happening lately, and I'm a drunk and so forth and so on, and what have I done that's bad and evil and all that kind of stuff. That sounds okay. And then we admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Okay. God. Humbly ask Him, God, to remove our shortcomings. Well, what would be the difference in this and just praying, like we normally pray to gods and things like that? I mean, what? I just don't get this. And then we 9 made direct amends to people and so forth and so on. That's not bad, if you've done something bad to someone, or to go to them and say, "Gosh, I'm really sorry I did that." Hey, that's pretty cool. And then sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understand Him. This is a good one. Praying only for knowledge of His will for us and the power to carry that out. Unless I'm misinterpreting this, we want to know what He wants to do with us, and then we have the power to carry that out. I mean, how bizarre is all of this? Number 12, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. I don't know, folks. It says, it would seem what we're saying is we have no control over this, and we're going to let some God take care of it. And the God, if we don't want to have a real normal kind of God like Christians have, then we can have a rock as a God. Does this really make any sense? No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to. It really doesn't. And I'm sure, most of the AA folks are most likely well-intentioned and so on and so forth, and, we'll try and help folks stop drinking and do things like that, but really, if you go in there and you have to do this 12-step stuff, come on. It just doesn't make sense. It seems like what we're saying is we're powerless, therefore, even though subsequently we're going to say we were bad persons and we had defects of character and all that kind of stuff. It's basically saying, oh gosh, we're powerless, and oh gosh, we aren't even going to fix this ourselves. We're going to find some God, some rock or something, to help us stop drinking. I think another thing about AA, and I don't know this to be true, I don't think there's any middle ground there. I don't think you go to AA to get your drinking under control. I don't think they allow for folks to have a beer. I think basically they say, you just don't drink. Also, I think they, and I could be wrong on this one, I think their philosophy is, you need to do anything to not drink. Well, come on. If let's say you have a bunch of pals at work and you guys go out and have a beer after work and things like that, and if you're going to stop drinking, what do you have to, quit your job immediately so you aren't going to be around these people who go out and drink? I mean, does that make any sense? Is that a good idea? Another thing that ticks me off, all the rehab centers, with maybe a handful of exceptions somewhere that I don't know about, use the same baloney. Well, let's not say baloney, that's not nice. Okay, use the same 12 steps. In other words, you go to Betty Ford, they're going to give you the 12 steps. You go to the city-run joint, they're going to give you the 12 steps. I mean, here's the government telling you to get a God so that the God can make you stop drinking. I'll tell you, I don't know. What happened to the old separation of church and state? I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, as Pat Condell would say, peace.